please introduce yourself?
My name is Mark Johannesson. I'm currently City Council in West Sacramento.
Great. And you're running for City Council again?
I'm running for re-election, right? I was elected in 2006, and I'm at the end of my first term.
Okay. And please summarize your qualifications.
Well, I'm a City Council since 2006. I'm an attorney and a CPA. And I've been practicing law since 1983. I've lived in West Sacramento since around 2000. And I've been involved with a number of commissions, both at the city, state, and county level, dealing with many of the issues we're all faced with.
Okay. Can you please explain why you're running for City Council?
Well,
Again?
West Sacramento, when I moved to West Sacramento in 2000, there was I think, kind of an image of West Sacramento. I moved basically because of the housing prices. I was living out in the Orangevale area. And I knew that West Sacramento had a little bit of an image issue, but it wasn't, I didn't view it as really significant. And, you know, what a difference time has made in West Sacramento and the U-turn that our city has made. The right decisions it has made to improve the quality of lives for people, improve the prestige of the city in the region, and it's turned really into the gem of the Sacramento region. And so what part I've been able to play in that, I'm very proud of, and I want to be able to continue that, to continue this turn, and to bring to West Sacramento the amenities and the jobs and the safety and security I think people want.
And if elected, what are your priorities and issues you want to address?
Well, one of the main issues is going to be, for me, job creation. You know, I've had people ask me, you know, or tell me, I'm City Council, what can you do about getting jobs? Isn't that a state or federal issue? But it's not really. You know, we just approved yesterday at City Council a 300-room hotel that's going to go on the riverfront. That's going to be a huge, huge job generator. And these aren't, you know, minimum wage jobs. These are actually living wage jobs that are going to be going in there. Our entire riverfront's going to be developed. Again, more jobs. We've got a port that we're still, you know, it's still uncertain territory now because of the nature of ports in general. But, you know, our industrial base is still strong in West Sacramento. So we continue to build jobs and create sales tax. And so job creation, I also want to make sure that our citizens remain safe and secure. In my position on safety and security, both with the fire and police, had led me to an endorsement, not only this council race, but in my past races as well. Because I think people need to feel that they're safe and secure in their homes. You know, another big issue in West Sacramento, of course, is flood. Flood's a priority. We're working through the system on that. We've got a plan on how to implement a flood protection program to 200 years. A lot of that depends on the state and federal money that we need, but we're in front of that on a lot of the reaches that we're needing to do. So those are probably the biggest things I'm looking at. The other issue is I want to make sure that when we come out of this recession, West Sacramento is very, very competitive in getting new business, new development and new businesses coming in. Because it's very, very competitive in the Sacramento region for example, office towers, you know, residential development. And the difference between a project being sited in West Sacramento versus Sacramento could be just a percentage return on investment. So, you know, one of the things I focused on in the last three and a half years in office has been to really constantly look at our cost structures to make sure that we're, you know, in the game in terms of cost competitiveness. Because if we don't get the business, we don't get the development, we're not going to get the jobs, we're not going to get the amenities that people want.
Elaborating a little more on that redevelopment funds are very resourceful for the city.
They were.
And exactly, and how would you go about advocating to restore that funding?
Well, the problem with the way the system is now is it's basically taken the city's ability to plan revitalization out of their hands. We had sufficient redevelopment funds to be able to do what we wanted to do in terms of, you know, the current general plan that's in place. I understand that our capital improvement program budget is going to be skeletal this year because of the lack of redevelopment funds. So I think it's really advocating with our state representatives to you know, continue to support redevelopment agencies and the purpose for redevelopment agencies, and also to prevent future raids on funds. Because I think we were doing fine until that happened. And once that happened, we had to start scrambling for money from other sources. And, you know, there is money from other sources, but it's very sketchy whether or not you're going to get that. So I think we would advocate that the state should take a hands-off approach on that. It's one area that the city has been able to manage well. There has been absolutely no abuse in West Sacramento on the use of its redevelopment funds. And without those funds, it's going to be very difficult to eliminate the blight and to rent and to redevelop areas of town that was really a purpose of the redevelopment area, the redevelopment law. So it's an advocacy. I think, you know, we need to be at the forefront of advocacy. We need to also show what we've been able to do with redevelopment funds in the past. And West Sacramento has a very successful history of doing projects that have succeeded. And you can look at, you know, West Capitol Avenue now. We're getting a new community center. We've got a new library. You know, a new transit center, a new streetscape. A lot of what's going on in the Bridge District, all that's redevelopment. A lot of what we're going to be doing with the new hotel and the way we develop big projects is to use our abilities in redevelopment law. So it really does hamper us if that's, there's a misconception of the value of that at the state level.